So I'm sure some of you know that I went to Howard University for undergrad. And for those of you who don't know, Howard is a historically black university. When most people think of Howard, they think of this. Our massive and amazing homecomings and parties and just overall sense of community and black culture. I actually ended up choosing Howard because my financial aid package was amazing. 2, I wanted to explore my identity as a black woman, as well as explore the diversity within the African diaspora. And finally, anyone will tell you that the opportunities for jobs and internships are endless. And although I love Howard, I recognize that it had its drawbacks. Like other HBCUs, it was less funded than larger institutions, and that could cause stress on its students. But at the end, the memories, the friends from all different cultures, the opportunities, the mentorship, they all greatly outweighed the cons. Now I'm in medical school, and although we're all in the same place, I'm the only one who went to an HBCU. So I've asked my classmates to share why they chose a PWI, what were their experiences, and if they've ever considered an HBCU.
Can you, come on, you're playing. I don't have time. My time's expensive.
Where did you go to school?
The University of Tennessee.
I went to Johns Hopkins University.
I went to Penn State University.
I went to school at Harvard University.
I went to Brown University.
I went to Northeastern University in Boston.
When did you learn about HBCUs?
I think I knew about HBCUs in high school, but I didn't know a lot of people that actually went to them. And then while I was in undergrad, there were a lot of debates online about HBCU experience versus PWI experience.
I actually didn't hear about HBCUs until freshman year of college.
Well, I heard about HBCUs my senior year of high school, but I never really fully learned about them.
Yeah, I didn't learn about HBCUs, I don't think, until probably I was already in college.
I think I've always sort of known about them, being from a black family.
I learned about it at the end of high school, but it had been after I already applied to all my undergrads, so it was kind of a little too late to kind of think about them.
Why did you choose your school?
I honestly chose my school solely because of the honors program that they had, and I had a really good scholarship attached to it.
When I interviewed at Hopkins, my tour guide was black. And so I was like, they got black people here, we'll be set. And I was wrong.
At the end of the day, they gave me a scholarship, and my parents were both coming from low-income backgrounds, and they were like, you're not going to school anywhere else.
Both my sisters went to a local state university, and I was kind of picking between whether I should go to a school nearby or leave and go out and venture. And I decided to just get that new experience and head out.
I really liked the academic program there, so there are no general requirements, and you only have requirements in your major. And that was really appealing to me because I have a lot of different interests in different things, so it allowed me to explore a lot more. And then when I visited, I just really liked all of the people that were there. They seemed super interested and passionate about what they were learning.
I chose Northeastern because I had a full tuition undergraduate scholarship. I wanted to leave New Jersey and have a new place where I can get research and different internship opportunities.
And what did you gain from your experience there?
I think at the school that I went to, I had a really good idea of what life as a black male would be like in the general public because it was a PWI, and that was an experience that I feel like would follow me throughout the rest of my life.
I think Hopkins had a huge amount of structural support in terms of academics, and so if you were interested in research at all, you absolutely had all those doors open. It was pretty effortless relative to what other students go through. And I mean, I think the big thing is the name of Hopkins. It carries you pretty far.
I would say that I got better at advocating for myself. I think that as far as claiming your space and kind of learning how to feel more confident when other people might think you're inadequate, I definitely got better at that. And just having productive conversations about race with people that are different than me.
One great thing about Harvard, there's so many different types of people who had such different paths to get there, and such different life experiences, especially from the one I had growing up. It's very valuable to learn from all of them and also like share my own experience.
I think I gained a sense of myself and sort of my position in the world.
I think I really gained a lot out of their internship program. They invest a lot in letting us take semesters off to work for different companies. So I worked in pharma for 6 months. I did 6 months working in environmental health research. Also worked in a wet lab looking at Alzheimer's. So having a schedule that really focused on not only classwork, but really like real life work experience, I think really has made the experience worthwhile.
What do you think was lacking from your institution?
I definitely think we had a very low Black population. Like the national average is 13% of our population, and my school had less than 6%. So definitely I didn't have a lot of Black friends, but luckily through the program, the few Black students that were in it, we really bonded.
I would say that Hopkins, even though it was great academically in terms of social interactions, it may not have been the best place for your personal growth, especially as a student of color.
I think not having a really large Black community means that the overall like cultural influence and opportunities, it's like harder to find. You have to go out of your way to find it. So if you're not a proactive person or you're more withdrawn, that could be a really long 4 years for you.
It wasn't the most fun school, but besides that, I don't think I was lacking much. I think there's so many different things some different opportunities you can do, and so you can really make of it what you want.
You could feel tensions between athletes and non-athletes and people who had more money versus people who didn't. So there are definitely those tensions that were pretty uncomfortable at some points.
And what did you lack by choosing Northeastern?
I think going to a predominantly white school, there is that whole question of fitting in, especially as a Black woman in STEM. Although there is a budding Black community there and there was a lot of new support around it, I think the institution oftentimes didn't financially support other students of color who may have had different scholarships than mine.
Did you ever consider what your college experience would have been like had you gone to an HBCU?
Yes, at times, but honestly, it didn't really factor much into my day-to-day life because unlike a lot of people, I went to an all-Black high school, for the most part, predominantly Black high school. So through my high school experience, I had a really good sense of what an educational system would be like amongst other peers that looked like me and thought like me and came from backgrounds that I did.
Did you ever consider what your experience at college would have been like if you had chosen to go to an HBCU?
Oh, absolutely, all the time, all the time. I imagine that there would have been a lot less microaggressions overall. I probably would have had to deal with identity issues less.
I would say yes, I have. I think I would have really liked it. Just again, having more of a larger community, but I don't dwell too much on it because I feel that, I still got good things out of it.
I actually have thought about this. I think it would have been very different. I feel like a lot of the classmates I had, a lot of people who I met early on and got close to definitely most of them weren't African American at all. And I think it would have been fun and valuable to have other people who had similar backgrounds, similar experiences.
I don't think I've ever really thought about it when I was in undergrad. Thinking about it now, I think it would have been really different, and I don't know that it would have strengthened my Black identity because I think going to a primarily white institution helped to strengthen my Black identity because it was something that I was way more aware of and took more time to learn about.
I think I would have had a built-in community. I know that from my friends who have gone to HBCUs, wherever you go, it's easy to find someone in different fields in different cities that may have belonged to your institution. So I definitely missed out a little on that. But I think not going to one makes me very conscious about how I build community now. So in medical school and in undergrad, the friends that I do have that look like me, who may be in or out of my field, I've made sure to keep in touch and build that space.
What advice do you have to students who are choosing between HBCUs and PWIs?
I definitely think finances matter because the student loan crisis is real. So I think that's something that's really important, but also figuring out what school is going to make you happy because at the end of the day, that's what's most important.
I would say that if you are consulting with people or asking them about it, if they have a very black or white opinion, like villainizing one or the other, I don't think you should listen to them, because I think that they both make you question your identity in different ways and allow for different kinds of growth, and how you decide you would most benefit is a personal decision. And I think, honestly, you get a great education out of both. It just kind of depends on you.
Think about what's important to you. You love to have that like community and like already built in, not really have to like search and find it. I think HBCUs would be like a great opportunity to really share and learn from and be around other African American people. But also PWIs are great institutions, and you do have to give a little more effort to find that community. But depending on where you go, I'd make sure to look to see if those communities exist and how well they're supported by the institution.
I think you can't really go wrong with where you choose. I think it's where you feel comfortable, but also where you feel pushed to grow and be better. So you can't be too comfortable, but still comfortable enough that you feel like you can try new things.
Some advice I have is definitely to consider all HBCUs. I think although they're the top ones everyone knows, like Howard, Spelman, Clark Atlanta, there are a lot of different schools that had different scholarships. So depending on your field, you may be able to find something that's very specific to you.
This is like probably the most important thing, is understand that no one's gonna give you that external validation that you might have been used to, but in fact, people are probably gonna try to bring you down. And so understand that you're great, you deserve to be there. No matter what you look like, no matter how you speak, no matter what your grades were getting in there, you deserve to be there. And so hold on to that.